Hello everyone, welcome to the Stalwart Initiative. Today we're back with something that is near and dear to my heart. Recently D&D Beyond has done a crossover with Riot Games in regards to their new game Legends of Runeterra, which is a card game based off of characters that Riot Games already had established in such games as League of Legends, which I played a ton of. And I love the lore that Riot has set up for Runeterra, and this whole crossover that they've done has an amazing amount of free, by the way, amount of like new subclasses, new magic items, and new adventure, and basically a new world. It's opening up a new world to you, but they're only doing this temporarily. So, which is why I've decided to kind of do these videos on the subclasses and maybe some of the other content, and also try to fit a campaign in. We're going to stream a campaign on the Twitch channel of this Dark Tides over Bilgewater campaign, and they have a little thing in there. So I'll be doing that as well. And let's get to it. The first thing here is we're going to start going over the subclasses. This video is going to be on the Barbarian subclass, Path of the Depths. And if any of you know League of Legends or Riot lore, Runeterra lore, Nautilus is the perfect example, and the picture is right there of what a Path of the Depths Barbarian would be like. And this is, I'm going to upfront say, all these subclasses are great. They're fantastically implemented, they're useful, and they're very true to the characters that they're based off of. So let's take a look at the Nautilus-inspired subclass, Path of the Depths. So, encounters with the terrors of the deep can break the minds of the weak-willed, but some forge their trauma into weapons never seen above the waves. The barbarian who walks this path has survived such an encounter and has gained extraordinary abilities from the experience. The first feature we get at 3rd level when you get this subclass as a barbarian is Gift of the Drowned Ones. At 3rd level, when you adopt this path, you gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed and gain the ability to breathe underwater. Granted, some races already get these. You know, the water eccentric races already get these abilities, but for a barbarian, a lot of the traditional barbarians, your Goliaths and your landlocked barbarians, people in the mountain and the forests, and they don't get these features. And when you're doing a setting that is around a lot of water or pirate theme setting, campaign setting, this is super useful. And let's go. Let's take a look at what else you get at 3rd level. You get Dredge Line. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, you manifest an additional appendage when you enter your rage. This weapon can appear as a kraken tentacle, a giant anchor, preternatural jaws, or something else based on your history. As a bonus action, you can use this appendage to strike at one creature of your choice that you can see within 15 feet. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw, a DC of 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength mod, or be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line towards you. This is a great ability, and not only because it's a bonus action ability that you can use over and over while you're raging, but it helps you close the distance on enemies, not only to get them close to you, but to get them farther away from allies. There's just a lot that can be done with this, and it also builds upon it later on, as we see in some of the other features here. So, great 3rd level feature. It really will help you in a lot of situations. You get a lot of use out of it, and you get to theme it the way you want. Like Nautilus has this giant anchor on a chain that he yanks people to him, or yanks himself to terrain and stuff. And I would also work with the players on being able to do stuff like that. Yank yourself to places. That'd be pretty sweet too. Talk with your DM about that, but I like that idea, and I would kind of work that in there somehow with my players. So next up, at 6th level, you get Ghost Water Dive. Beginning at 6th level, you can burst into water and then materialize somewhere else as an action. You magically teleport along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Before or after teleporting, you can make one attack as part of your action. Moving in this way does not provoke opportunity attacks. This is probably the strongest feature of this subclass, and a huge strong feature for a 6th level character. Not only because it's like a Misty Step that you don't need a spell, or you don't need a spell slot to use. It has unlimited uses, though you do have to use your action as opposed to Misty Step, which would be your bonus action. This is great because it lets you do an attack along with the teleportation. And you get to choose before or after you teleport, so you can kind of use this depending on the situation. If you want to get away from if you're in the middle of something and you need to get away, you attack, teleport, you're out. Or you want to attack, or you want to teleport to someone and then attack them, that's also good. And the fact that it has unlimited use, you don't provoke opportunity attacks, and also that, something that could be useful is a lot of things only teleport you and what you're wearing, not what you're carrying. Well, this also does carrying, so if you are in a mission or doing something, you need to snatch something up and then teleport while you're carrying it, this will also help you facilitate that. Very cool. Ghost Water Dive, love it. Loving it. So next up we have, at 10th level, we have Manifestations of the Deep. At 10th level, you can manifest additional adaptations of the deep. Select one of the below adaptations you manifest. During a long rest, you may replace your chosen manifestation with a new option from this list. Already that they're telling you that you can replace whatever you pick here at the end of a long rest is great. It'll let you adapt to the situation or to whatever you can foresee happening in that next day. Very cool. So the first option is Eyes of the Deep. You gain the ability to use echolocation. When you do so, you cast the True Seeing spell without using a spell slot or material components. After you cast a spell in this way, or after you cast a spell in this way, you can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. This is great. True Sight is fantastic to have, especially if you are doing some exploration and stuff, or you're trying to locate an enemy. This is very cool, and theming it as echolocation, especially with this subclass, is very cool. I like it, very useful, and it recharges on a short rest, which is super useful, so you can get multiple uses a day out of it, or out of it a day, per day, if you're getting those short rests. Very nice. Next up, we have Arms of the Deep. While raging, you now manifest 2 magical appendages, which may be tentacles, chains, an anchor, animated rigging, or another grasping arm of your choice. When you use your Dredgeline ability, you can attempt a grapple with each of your appendages. So the verbiage on this is a little, I'm not quite sure how to put this. It does say when you use your Dredgeline ability, it doesn't say you necessarily have to land it. So technically, you could say that even if you miss your Dredgeline, you can still try to do 2 grapples, but it would kind of make more sense to me if you succeed on your Dredgeline ability and you pull them towards you, then you can use both of these appendages to get 2 grapple attempts. This is great because what you're doing is you're not only pulling them towards you, you're not only pulling opposition towards you, or even allies, but you are also getting 2 opportunities to grapple. And on top of that, all as a bonus action. All as just a bonus action. Crazy. Love it. Very useful. Next up, we have Heart of the Deep. Now, on your turn, you can use your bonus action to gain temporary hit points equal to 1d12 plus your Barbarian level. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. This is okay. I would say I'd put this in the okay category. Temporary hit points are always useful to have, especially if you know, there's combat coming up. They last till you rest. It's useful. You're starting out with, you get this at 10th level, so you're starting out with a minimum of 11 temp hit points and a maximum of 22, and it does scale with you as you level up. You get more temp hit points, so that part is nice. It's just there's other options that are really good that I'd have a hard time giving up for this one, but it's a nice tanking option, and it does recharge on a short rest, which is a lot better than having that on a long rest. If it was long rest, then I would pass on it, but short rest is a-okay as well. I would say on this one, I would have it recharge not on a short or long rest. I would say once per rage, so that if you go into a rage again before you long rest, you can get those temp hit points again. I don't see the harm in that because 10 hit points don't stack. So it's not like you stack them on top of each other. That's one change I probably would make to that option and make it more appealing. Next up, we have Soul of the Deep. You are now immune to all effects that would cause you to be charmed or frightened. Soul of the Deep isn't real flashy, 2 passive effects, but making you immune to these 2 very, very punishing effects. Fans of Critical Role or many other shows that you've seen, allies get turned on each other, even if you're not fighting the most scariest of enemy, if they turn you on each other, that can be very deadly very quick. And being frightened kind of takes you out of the fight, or at least partially hinders you from doing possibly what you want to do. So making you immune to these is great. Now there are races and other subclass options that do also offer this, but having them both right here is it's very, very useful. Next up, we have Armor of the Deep. Your skin hardens, increasing your armor class by 1. Meh. I mean, armor class, raising your armor class is always great. And as a barbarian, you're tanking a lot, so having it higher is even better. But, oh man, there's so many good options. I just don't see myself I'm not willing to part with some of the other stuff. That would have to be at least an armor class of 2, or adding something on top of that for me to pick that as an option. I don't think I'd ever pick that as an option. Because who doesn't want more? Who doesn't want more appendages or true sight? Just can't do it. But it's not bad. Armor class is fine. Just better alternatives. Next up, we have Depth Charge. So at our Capstone subclass ability here, our feature is Depth Charge. At 14th level, when you use your Ghost Water Dive ability, you can choose to appear with a wave of tidal force. When you appear, all creatures within 10 feet of you must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 3d6 force damage and is knocked prone. On a successful save, a creature takes half damage and is not knocked prone. Or is not knocked prone. Yeah, that sounds weird. So this is fantastic, building on the best feature of this subclass, the Ghost Water Dive. It's building on top of that. This is great in multiple ways. One, when you splash up and the tidal force comes out, it's 10-foot range, so you can get multiple enemies with that. And you're doing automatic damage. Granted, at max, it's 18. It's not a lot of damage, but it is force, so they're probably not going to be resistant or immune to it. And it is automatic. They're at least going to take half the damage you roll. And they also, if they fail their strength save, you can knock them prone. That is possibly knocking several enemies prone, depending on the situation. And once they're prone, guess what? Your Ghost Water Dive ability allows you to have an attack after you use it, so you can attack with advantage at someone you just knocked prone that's within your range. That's fantastic. Super useful. Never not, I'll say it, never not good. I don't care. Double negative it. So that's great. Well, I shouldn't say that, because this will hurt your allies as well if you do it this way. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure your allies aren't in the wave, aren't in the tidal force wave. But yeah, as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, so useful. I love it. So those are all the features of the Path of the Depths Barbarian. What do you guys think? I personally think this is the best barbarian I've seen in a while. I love this, and it's D&D Beyond, I hope you do more of this. This is great, especially with Riot. I love this lore. There are so many characters that you can base these off of. This is a great representation of Nautilus, and I just so love it. I'm just sad to see that it's going in August. But that's okay. I'm sure you'll be able to find the info around, and you'll just have to manually do it yourself to build the character yourself. But yeah, let me know what you think. We will be starting this campaign, the Dark Tides of Bilgewater, very, very, very soon. I think it's on Friday, so that's coming up soon. And check the Twitch channel for that. All the links will be down below. Excuse me, even for this subclass. So until next time, unity of strength. Stand together, take care of each other, and we'll see you then. Have a good one.